What it is, though. It's your boy Crook LDB Team 100. We in here, sure. What's going on, everybody? I know it's been like, a few days? I ain't uploaded a video since Friday? Thursday, Friday? Anyways, I hope y'all had a great weekend. Hope y'all had a wonderful holiday. I hope y'all celebrated the way I wanted to celebrate it. I went on a little mini break this weekend to kind of get away. I enjoyed my Halloween. Now it's time to get back to work. You feel me? 11 days, man. 11 days is when that PS5 comes out. Or is it 10? No, I'm sorry, 10. 10 for the PS5. And then it's what? Today's the second. Oh my God, I should know my math. 8 days for the Xbox, bro. Y'all forgive me. I just woke up. But the next gens are around the corner, man. I can't wait. I'm excited. We definitely gonna get that. But I just want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to give a video a thumbs up when y'all watch this, man. Show some love and support. Now today, this was recommended by one of my subscribers and Twitch followers. Shout out to Bennett. This is Can You Solve the Hardest Problem in NBA History? I believe this has something to do with the draft that's coming up. So we're going to get into it. I'm going to give y'all my opinion on it. So without further ado, let's get to it.
I had the job of choosing the #1 overall pick in this year's NBA draft. Who would you pick? And just as important, do you think you could make the correct choice? Anthony Edwards, Obi Toppin, LaMelo Ball, James Wiseman. Are you choosing a player that fills a role on your team, or are you choosing strictly based on the best player in the draft regardless of position? In some years, the decision is pretty clear-cut. But in other years, you could be one pick away from making a terrible decision that ripples through your franchise for years to come. Basketball is a team sport. It takes an entire cohesive unit to win a championship. But picking the best player in any given draft class can propel a team in the right direction for the next decade.
So here's the thing. That's actually a great question. Which one do you choose? Me personally, it all depends on the direction of where your franchise is. If you're a franchise, let's say for instance Chicago, New York, New Orleans, who else? The Charlotte Hornets. Franchises like those, you're just taking the best player available, because at this point you're looking for a player that can pretty much transform your franchise into a possible contender, and you're looking for someone to build your team around, because at this point you're just picking up anybody that's off the scrap heap and trying to develop them. Now if you're like the mid teams, like I consider Utah to be a mid team. I consider who else can be a mid team? A mid. So like the Jazz, Portland, right now San Antonio, teams like those, you kinda want to pick the best player available too, but at the same time you want to pick a player that fits your scheme, or that kind of want to pick what you're doing. So you kind of got to be strategic, because even though you're only one or two pieces away, you kind of will have to get into something that fits the scheme that you're already doing, because you technically only need one piece available. I mean, you only need one piece. And then if you're one of the top teams, you just pick whoever's available, whoever's the best player available. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I think. So if you're a sorry team, you pick who fits your scheme. Or no, I'm sorry. You pick who's the best available. The mid teams, you pick the scheme, and then if you're a top team, you just pick anybody, because you've already established yourself as a contending team. All you just need is just to fill a roster out. You feel me? Golden State, Brooklyn Nets, L.A. Clippers, L.A. Lakers. I think Dallas is on its way towards. Well, they're a contending team, but they're probably like a couple pieces. I would consider them a contending team. Yeah. So that's how you do it.
So, who do you choose? Well, this decision.
But number one
is
overall, I would
nearly
pick James
as
Wiseman.
easy as you may think.
I don't think. Yeah.
Every once in a while, a franchise will use their number one overall pick on a player that makes you scratch your head. Out of all the non-NBA prospects in the world, you chose him? I mean, there's got to be a reason why dozens of scouts, coaches, GMs, and millions of dollars worth of resources concluded that these players were worthy of a number one overall pick. And like myself, you're probably thinking, hey, I guarantee I can make a better pick than this franchise.
Hold on, wait.
It's always 2020. Guarantee I can.
Guys, look at this, bro. These were number one overall picks at one point in time. All of these were terrible picks. The only terrible pick that wasn't all the way terrible was Andrew Bogut. Andrew Bogut wasn't all the way terrible, but he definitely was not a number one overall pick. Definitely not. So, I mean, just because you have the number one overall pick, that doesn't even mean that, you know, you're even going to get a great pick. I mean, look at Kawhi. He was picked 15th overall. Look at Draymond. Draymond was picked in, the second round? Giannis was picked 15th overall. You feel me? So just because you got the number one overall pick, that's a lot of pressure. Because you can either pick someone like LeBron, or you can pick somebody that's like one of these four. So that's like really hard, bro. Like really hard. So, hey.
Can make a better pick than this franchise. I mean, hindsight is always 2020. It's easy to sit back and say choosing Darko Milicic over Melo, D-Wade, and Chris Bosh was a terrible decision 17 years after the fact. But making the correct choice in the moment is a near monumental task. Out of the last 40 NBA drafts dating back to 1980, only 12 drafts featured a number one overall pick that was actually the best player in the draft.
That's crazy, bro. So these were all the number one overall picks spanning from 20 years ago. Bro. Look at some of these number one overalls, bro. Like, you had Kwame, Kenyon Martin, Bogut, Bargnani, Greg Oden, Rose, Griffin, Wall, Irvin, AD, Anthony Bennett, Andrew Wiggins, Markelle Fultz, DeAndre Ayton. Like, a lot of these players, like, even some of the old players, like, I can't talk about David Robinson. But even a lot of these players didn't even materialize within their first 2-3 years, bro. It still took them a while. Like, the ones that I guess he circled were the only ones that actually materialized, like, their first year, that actually produced, like, their first year. That's crazy, bro. Out of 20 years, only 12? That's crazy.
That means even the most savvy NBA minds in the world pick the best player in the draft only 30% of the time.
That's crazy.
That's atrocious.
Yes, that's
Typically,
crazy.
GMs do a decent job as they work their way down the draft board. But there's just something about that first pick. In a 7-year stretch between 2005 and 2011, every single number one overall pick was not the best player in their draft class. And even with more advanced statistics at our disposal, more film available to break down, and better scouting techniques, making the right pick today is just as unlikely as it was 40 years ago. Watching an NBA prospect up close and in person is a crucial part of the process, but for the sake of this experiment, I am going to give you 3 players and their college stats. Now, all 3 of these players were in the same draft, all of them one and dones. The Sixers had the first pick in this draft, and they already have a great guard running the point. With the limited information provided, if you had to pick, who are you choosing with the number one overall pick? I'll give you a moment to think about it.
Hold on, chat. Alright. 6'4", 19 years. So, alright, so all of them about the same age. 6'4", 6'3", and 6'8" with the first overall pick. So choice number 1, he's pretty much a bucket. So if you're looking for overall talent, number one would definitely be the person you will go with. Um, but then they like all of them aren't bad though. I mean, just looking at the stats, the first option would be the obvious option because of the stats. But I don't know. Because I feel like that's a trick question. I ain't gonna lie, I do. Like I feel like it's a trick because just because the stats are good and just because you come out of college and you're good, that doesn't mean that you're gonna transcend to the NBA. So you know what? We are gonna go with you know what? We gonna go with the first one. I want to see what the first one say. We gonna go with the first one because the stats are there. But I was gonna choose either the first one or the last one. So I kind of want to choose the last one, but we gonna go with the first one and see.
So, have you made a decision? Hopefully, you've made the correct one. Because out of these three prospects, one of them has had by far the best NBA career so far. Now, it's still very
I knew
early
it,
in their
bro.
careers, but Jason Tatum has
Damn. And this is what I'm talking about, bro. Look. Oh, I wanted to go with that one. Fuck, man. It's all good. But this is what I mean. Look at it, bro. Just because your stats are good for college, that don't mean that you're going to transcend. Like look at Markelle Fultz, bro. He was potentially going to make Philly, like put Philly over the hump. If Markelle Fultz developed in Philly as he should have, bro, the Sixers are a contending team, definitely. Especially if he's still on a roster with the same roster that they have now. That's overkill, bro. That would be overkill. But damn, y'all really wanted to pick the third one. I'm kind of upset about that. That's crazy. I already knew the middle one wasn't going to be like that. I knew it, bro. I knew it.
asserted himself as the best player in this draft. Of course, making a decision
Yeah,
based
Tatum
off
definitely
of
did.
just stats is tough to do. But even with the advantage of watching the kid play, GMs and scouts across the league felt that he was only worthy of a third pick in the draft. If the Sixers picked Tatum instead of Fultz with the number 1 overall pick, it is very possible that they would have made a trip to the finals by now. But
hell yeah, they would have won.
Pick is not as easy as it seems,
bro.
So
Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, and Jason Tatum right now? What? Come on now. Come on now. Now, would they have been able to prosper on the same team? I don't know. Because all three of them need the ball in their hands. So that's going to be the challenge. Haha. It's going to be the challenge. But as of right now, those three on paper, automatic Eastern Conference Finals. Automatic.
let's give this another shot.
Automatic.
Here are 3 more prospects. This time, all 3 players the same position. Here are their pre-NBA numbers. One of them being an international player, one of them being a 2-year college guy, and the other being a one and done. The team with the first overall pick needs a stretch forward that can space the floor and get the ball inside. Now, make your pick.
Alright, so we're gonna try again. We can do. And by the way, guys, pause the video and just think about it too. Like if you want to do it, just pause the video and do it. I feel like I'm gonna go with. Damn it, bro. Why do I feel like the middle one is Anthony Bennett? I feel like the middle one Anthony Bennett, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like Anthony Bennett. Damn, I kind of want to go with the 2-year college prospect. I kind of do. You're looking for a stretch 4. we're gonna go with. Yeah, we're gonna go with the two. Yeah, we're gonna go with the 2-year college prospect. We're gonna go with the 2-year college prospect.
So, which player did you choose? Well, hopefully, it was prospect number 1. Because this player is soon to be a 2-time league MVP.
I called it. I knew it was Anthony Bennett. It looked like him. Fuck, man. I would have picked Otto Porter. But, I mean, Otto Porter's a good shooter, though. So, all right, so here's the thing. He said in the beginning, you're looking for a stretch that can space the floor and that you can drop it down and low. I feel like Otto Porter can do that. But if I'm picking a pick and it turns out to be a Giannis more than what I actually need, hell yeah, I'm gonna be kicking rocks. I'm gonna be mad as shit.
As we've discussed, in regards to some picks, it is nearly impossible to predict what kind of player they will become. So if you didn't pick Giannis in this experiment, you're not alone. At the time, there was very little evidence that showed that in just 6 years, he would become the MVP of the NBA. In 2013, if you took Giannis with a top 10 pick in the draft, you would be laughed at and fired from your job. And in 2013, if you let Anthony Bennett slip past the 10th pick, you would also be laughed at and fired from your job. And yet, in hindsight, both of those decisions would have been the correct one. Let's do one more. This time around, we have 3 guards, each with their own sets of strengths and weaknesses and all with very different games. In this situation, your team does not need a guard, but you know that the best player in the draft is going to be a guard regardless. So, who do you pick?
Okay, I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like the middle one is Ball. Anthony, matter of fact, I know the middle one is Ball. I know it is. Because he came from overseas. You got a 4-year college prospect and a one and done. He a bucket, though. Almost 28 points. He definitely a bucket, but he don't do nothing else. He got points, but he has rebounds and assists, so he has a more overall game. I feel like this is Ball, bro. I really do. And then we have this one. He has a higher blocks than him. 19, 5'2", 2'8". Yeah, we gonna go with the one and done.
Have you made your choice? Well, in this case, it's far too early to tell who will be the best NBA player.
So Anthony Edwards.
It's also tough to assess which prospect is the best one because their circumstances and game are all so different. Experiments like this are impossibly difficult. You don't have the advantage of watching a player's strengths and weaknesses unfold in front of your eyes. But it gives us some insight as to what GMs, scouts, and coaches go through on a yearly basis. And just like the league itself, the NBA draft goes through phases. Like in the early 2000s, when the NBA went through its high school prospect craze. From the time the NBA was founded in 1949 all the way through the 2000 NBA draft, there were a total of 14 high school players selected in the NBA draft. In the 5 years following the 2000 NBA draft, there were 28 high school players selected in the NBA draft. Peaking in 2004 and 2005 with 17 high school players. Yeah, because
that was when LeBron.
2 seasons.
Around those years, it was Dwight, LeBron. Who else? Tyson Chandler came out of high school. Like they showed Sebastian Telfair. Kobe came out of high school. Like it showed Al Jefferson came out of it was hella players that came out of high school, bro. And out of all the players that came out of high school, it was still only like a select few that was like actually great. I mean, some of them, the majority of them, I'm gonna say they had productive seasons, but like were actually great. Probably like, damn. I ain't gonna lie, that's probably gonna be another video because out of all the players that came out of high school, who actually was like the main ones that actually produced like great seasons, or who even won a ring? That would be a good video. If y'all think that'll be a good video, comment down below. I think that'll be interesting. But I gotta research who came out of high school in 2018 though.
Of course, this was following the success of LeBron James, and the trend that followed was massive. NBA teams were chasing high school players like Robert Swift and Ricky Sanchez in hopes that they would land the next superstar. The draft was getting crazy. Only 5 times in NBA history has a player with no college experience gone first overall in the draft. All 5 of these picks came within a 6-year span.
Hold up. Zion went to Duke? Hold on, what do they mean, no college experience? Zion went to Duke. Ayton went to Arizona. Fultz went to Washington. Now, I get Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons was overseas. No. He went to LSU. So what do they mean? With no college experience. They all came from college, though. I guess he's trying to point out that they didn't have college experience. I was about to say, hold up. All of them came from college.
The odds of a team making the right choice in the NBA draft is slim. Out of tens of thousands of potential prospects, the NBA draft narrows the pool of players down to about 80. 80 guys that have a shot at getting drafted.
Like, just imagine that, bro. Like, just imagine that. Out of tens of thousands of players, you got to think of how many colleges there are across the United States. And that's not even including overseas players. It's like 10,000 players, bro. And you telling me out of those 10,000, the majority, 80 players, are going to make it. You feel what I'm saying? Because to be honest with you, after the second round, teams don't care no more. Teams definitely don't care. And this isn't like the NFL where like where you could get a Tom Brady out of like the 6th round or the 7th round or something like that. No. After the 2nd round, they don't care. They pick anybody. And then just because they pick you, that don't even mean they even want to sign you. Yeah, you can get drafted, but they can still drop you because they have your rights. Like, just imagine that. That's crazy.
60 of them will actually get drafted. Out of the 60 that are drafted, 8 won't even play a single second in the NBA. Of the 52 that do see action in the NBA, only 39 draftees will play at least one season in the NBA.
That's crazy.
We are down to just 39 players, and we have only covered a season's worth of games of NBA playing time. Out of these 39 players, about 12 will average 10 points or more throughout their career.
That's crazy, bro.
And of these 12 players, about 5 of them will eventually make at least one All-Star team. But here's the kicker. On average, only 1 in 2 draft classes features a league MVP. In fact, in the last 25 years, there have been just as many busts chosen with the number 1 overall pick as league MVPs. So,
that's
you have the
crazy,
honors of selecting the
bro.
first overall pick in the 2020 NBA draft. As optimistic as you want to be, odds are you won't select the best player in the draft. The player you do select has about a 75% chance of becoming an all-star, and about a 1 in 5 chance of becoming a league MVP. But he also has the same odds of becoming a bust. You are in need of a lengthy point guard to bring a spark to your franchise. But then again, you have a shot at an NBA-ready 7'1" big man who looks to be the best player in the draft regardless of position. Your fan base is begging you to go with the general consensus and choose the player who is projected to go first overall. But the 2-year college guy that has proven time after time that he can perform with consistency and efficiency is starting to look like the most reasonable pick. 5 minutes on the clock. Your team is on the board. Make your pick.
That's dope, bro. I like this video. Shout out to you, Bennett, yo. I like this. I like this. I like this. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro. But it's sad to say that this season, I mean, these upcoming players, none of them none of them are like franchise players. No one really sticks out. So that's the most hard part. You have 4 potential players that could go #1 overall. I mean, yes, James Wiseman is pretty much the consensus. But when you think about it, is he really like the consensus? You know what I'm saying? Now, Minnesota is #1. They don't need a James Wiseman. But do you take a James Wiseman? Or do you trade it? Because being as though you already have your cornerstones, do you trade the #1 overall pick to get like an extra 2 picks? You feel me? Maybe. Shit. I don't even know who will move up. Or who would need to move up. But hell, maybe New York moves up? Because Minnesota already said they want to trade that pick. So, I don't know, man. But I like that video. That was definitely an interesting video. Guys, I want you to comment down below for the questions that he asked. Which ones did you guys do, bro? Tell me which one you did in the comment section. The link to this video will be in the description. Cause I like this video. This video was dope. But thank you guys for watching, man. I love y'all, man. More reactions on the way. I got gameplay coming. Just wait on it. Keep those notifications on. Follow me on Twitch. I'm going to probably be streaming today. Next time, y'all.